Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and ABC News, well, they just kind of crushed the Democrats' dreams of what's going to happen to Donald Trump in the Supreme Court. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. So ABC News, George Stephanopoulos, who was a liberal political person before he became an anchor, just basically dropped the hammer on the Democrats' dreams of what's going to happen in the Supreme Court. He believes there is no way the Supreme Court is going to allow states to take Trump off the presidential ballot. No way at all. And I got to say, I agree with him. It's not the democratic way to do things. It's not the way our country generally does things. You beat somebody, you beat them at the ballot box. Well, Stephanopoulos had a guest on, and they both kind of agreed with this. And I was shocked to see it personally. I want you guys to see it, and I want you to tell me your opinions. So please, again, before you go, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, please remember to watch this next clip. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody. Now let's watch that clip.
And kicked off the ballot, Trump would be spiking the football.
We are told Trump still plans to appeal that decision in Colorado. There are similar lawsuits playing out in more than a dozen states, putting even more pressure on the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in quickly, George.
Okay, Rachel, thanks very much. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. Rachel just said it right there. You've got this challenge in Maine. You've got Colorado, several other states. This is definitely going to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and there's no question the Supreme Court's going to hear it, right? Because a lot of the time cases will be brought to the Supreme Court, and they'll have to decide, do we take the case or do we not take the case? There is no doubt in my mind that they are going to take this case. They have to take this case. They're going to rule in this case. And the advantage that the Donald Trump team has is that if they accept any one of the arguments, he wins. Meaning, we could go through the 5 or so arguments that he has. You have a due process argument. You have definitional arguments. You have questions about whether it's self-executing or whether you need Congress to make laws.
Whether the president is even covered.
Exactly. Is the president even covered? If he wins on any one of those arguments, he wins. And that's the challenge that the other side is going to have.
We were talking about this before air. I think you and I both begin from the premise that the Supreme Court simply does not want to step in and decide the election, that there's no way they're going to uphold the Maine decision or the Colorado decision. We may be proven wrong, but what's the argument?
Well, the argument that the other side is going to make is that under the clear words of the 14th Amendment, Section 3, this should apply, right? And that's where a lot of people start, and they say, wait a sec. Look at this. This was an insurrection, etc. But then when you get into the little definitional aspects of the 14th Amendment, and you look at other sections of the 14th Amendment, there are various arguments to be made. And I think the most important one is this argument about due process, right? Which is, where has he been charged with an insurrection? Who has decided? In Colorado, they would say, well, it was a judge that resolved this question, etc. But there are real legal arguments that Donald Trump has, and because there's a menu of outs for the court, they're going to find one, I would think, that will say Donald Trump can remain on the ballot.
Far different case also coming, whether the president, former president, has immunity from criminal prosecution.
Right, and that's a much more of a long shot argument. The idea that the president of the United States has total immunity in his role as president, I can't see how the court would determine that. And this is a nice way, by the way, if they want to take up both together, to make it clear they're being fair, which is, no, the president doesn't have total immunity, but yes, he remains on the ballot.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. Now to the fallout at Harvard after University President